YouTube, what it is, it's your boy Diesel from Diesel TV, and welcome to another episode of Drink and Cigars. Let me check and make sure my waves is popping. Is they popping? They popping? They popping? Gotta make sure that the beard's straight, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Make sure that beard's straight and everything, got that fresh cut, so, you know. Yeah, buddy. Moving on. And in drinking cigars, what I do is I smoke cigars, I drink a little drink, and I tell a little story. All right. So today, we're gonna have the Aging Room Pura Cepa. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that, but it's the Aging Room Pura Cepa. All right. The length is 6.5 by 56 gauge. The wrapper type is Nicaragua, binder is Nicaragua, filler is Nicaragua, origin is Nicaragua, and strength is full bodied with a Maduro wrapper. Okay. I got these, I got these a while ago, and I just I really like these. I'm not gonna say I love them because Nicaraguan cigars are just something that I really enjoy. But this is a good one, man. So I bought a box of them a while ago, and then the next time I went to JR Cigars, because JR Cigars is like maybe 35-40 minutes for me, so I go to JR Cigars quite often. But they had another box in the clearance, and instead of paying full price, I got 40% off of it. So I bought it for like $150, somewhere around there. I bought it for $120 or something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my V cutter and go ahead and cut that. All right, that's good. And I'm gonna open up this bottle. I've already broken the seal on it, but I'm gonna open up this bottle of Buffalo Trace, and this is what I'm gonna be drinking on. I'm gonna let y'all hear me open it. Oh yeah. All right, so I got a cup of ice right here. All right. And the reason why I use ice, I usually use ice on the first pour because that's the neck pour, and that's usually the neck pour. It just seems like before it gets any air in there or anything like that, it just seems a little harsh for me. So I usually dilute it a little bit for my first pour with ice when it comes straight out the bottle, right when I break the seal and everything like that. All right. So let me go ahead and light my stick, and then we'll get into the story. All right. Like I said, I like to char the end and light the end, and then just puff on that, get that going. That's usually how my sticks stay lit for the most part. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good right there, boy. Yeah. Alright, so today I'm gonna tell you guys how I actually got the nickname Diesel. Alright, so let me get this going. Let me get this started up first, just so it doesn't go out. Yeah, I like that. Oh yeah. Alright, so how I got the name Diesel. So back let me start off for saying this is when I was working at the sheriff's department. Man, I was like my second or third year in when I got this nickname. I was working at Iredell County Sheriff's Department, and the first part of this video, I'm gonna tell it from my captain's perspective because this is how it was told to me. So my captain is having his weekly meeting with the sheriff, and he's in there with the sheriff, and they're talking about different things, you know, budget, prices, and all this stuff like that. And then all of a sudden he goes to my captain, he says, man, we got to do something about fuel. And so a lot of your guys don't know my last name is Fuel. So my captain was just like almost like vapor locked. He didn't want to, he was just like, you know, golly, what has that boy done again? You know, what has he gotten himself into? You know, because I knew that shit was going to happen. And the sheriff just said that and basically just moved on. He really didn't go into what it was that, you know, I did or anything like that. So the captain the whole time is just like thinking like, man, what has this boy done? Like, he is always getting into something. Now, the reason why he said that is because I had just got finished playing football and they issued us tasers. But I wasn't used to actually using tasers. I was used to going hands-on with somebody. If they was running, I was going to tackle them or something like that. So I wasn't really used to going hands-on with people. So I got called to the office a few times for tackling people. One time that I can remember is a guy ran out the back door and I tackled him and broke 2 of his ribs. So I got in trouble with that because I had my taser on me and I didn't use my taser. And this is when taser I had already been certified and that had just hit the market. Like, it had been on the market for like 3 or 4 years, and we had just got to the point where we were outfitting everybody with it. So anyway, so he calls me, so they get done with their meeting and everything, and the captain goes to the office, and he calls me on a Nextel, the Nextel phones we had. We had Nextel phones that they issued to us that we had. So he calls me on the Nextel, and he tells me to come to his office. So, when I was driving, and I get this call from my captain, who never calls me, because my sergeant, my lieutenant work the road with me. They're out there with me. And usually before I get to talk to the captain, I have to talk to my sergeant and my lieutenant. So instead of going through them two, it went straight to my captain. So my captain calls me and he was like, I need you to come up to the office. I'm like, oh man, what have I done? I done did something else, man. And if anybody knows about working at the sheriff's office, man, one of your man, because there's 2 concerns about your job is, am I gonna get fired or am I gonna get sent to the jail if you work in the road? And that was my thing. It was like, what did I do, man? I hope I don't get sent to the jail. I hope I don't get fired. I hope I ain't do something wrong. I hope I ain't say something to somebody or write the wrong ticket. Or, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff was running through my head. So I make my way up to the captain's office. Now, on the way up there to the office, I called my FTO, who was Vandenberg. I called my FTO and I said, man, I just got a call from captain. He wants me to come up there and talk to him in his office. He said, what? I said, yeah, man. He said, man, what'd you do? I was like, man, I don't know what I did, man. He said, you done something, boy. You better come up with a good story. So I was like, man, I don't know what story to come up with, man. I didn't do anything. I don't know what I did. He said, man, you been speeding? Did you write the wrong person? I said, I don't know what I did. So on the way up there, I'm talking to him, trying to figure out what I might have done to have to go up here and talk to the captain. The captain pulls me into the office and he tells me to sit down. And he says, what's going on? I said, Cap, I don't know. I'm spitting. I said, Cap, I have no idea, man. What the hell? I don't know what I did. You tell me what's going on. So he says, the sheriff wants to talk to you. I said, oh, God dang it. And my response to that was, do I need to go ahead and turn in my gun and stuff now? Or you want me to wait? He was like, no, he ain't say nothing about that. He said, but we need to go in there and talk to him. I said, damn. Now at this time, I am sweating bullets. I'm like, man, what have I done? I've done something. I don't know what it is, but I've done something. So we walk over to the sheriff's office, who was across the hallway, and he knocks on the door. And the sheriff says, hey, Captain, come on in. And I walk in behind him and he looks at me and he says, hey, man. I say, hey, Sheriff, how you doing? He said, I'm good. How you doing? I said, I'm all right, I guess. He said, what you need? I said, you wanted to see me. He said, I wanted to see you. What did I want to see you about? So then the captain starts. He said, well, you said we got to do something about the fuel. He said, no. He said, you said we got to do something about fuel. And the sheriff just bust out laughing. Like, he laughed so hard, it was ridiculous. And I was like, what the hell? So after the sheriff stops laughing, he talks to the captain. He says, No, you dumbass. I was talking about gas. Now, mind you, this was around the time when gas prices went up to about $4 a gallon in North Carolina. Like, this was like 2007, 8, 9, somewhere around there, man, where gas prices might have been like 6 or 5, somewhere around there where gas prices went so high and it was just like ridiculous. Gas prices were ridiculous. And he was actually telling the damn captain, you got to do something about the gas usage, how much gas we are using, because usually what we did was we just kept our cars running, especially when it was hot and when it was cold. We just kept our cars running to keep our cars cool or whatever. So he was telling him they need to do something about the fuel usage instead of actually fuel. So after we realized what he was talking about and everything, man, like, I was like, man, I might need to take me a few days off, man. Y'all causing me too much stress now. Going. So a few days later, I'm in the office. I'm in the office turning in some evidence, and the sheriff is walking down the hallway, and he comes up to me. He says, "Diesel." I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "Diesel." I said, "Okay." He said, "That's gonna be your new nickname, so we don't get it mixed up if you fucking up or not." I said, "Okay, Sheriff, I appreciate that." So that was basically how I got the name Diesel. Everybody started calling me Diesel. Even the citizens of the area that I was working at, they called me Diesel. That's how they knew me. All my nickname has been that. When it came to law enforcement, it's been pretty much Diesel when I worked at the Iredell County Sheriff's Department. Now, when I moved on, it really didn't stick with me like that. You know, I went back to using my last name or whatever. But yeah, man, that's how I got the nickname Diesel from the Iredell County Sheriff's Department when I worked there, man. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed my little story. Just a little something short, quick, easy. Something you ain't got to keep you for that long. Just to tell you, you know, how I came up with this nickname. I got a few more stories. I know I got a comment in my comment section of, you know, they wanted to hear about the famous rapper that shitted me, and I'm gonna come out with that story, man. I just need to come out with it to where I don't want to say any names. I don't want to give any bad blood or anything like that. It's nothing. I'm just not that type of person to bring that kind of attention. You know what I'm saying? So, I will be coming out with that story pretty soon, man. It's a wild story. But like I said, man, leave a comment in the comment section, man. Make sure you turn on that notification for when I drop my videos, so you'll be one of the first to know. All right, subscribe to my channel, man. Y'all know what it is. I'm out.